Hey folks, Fernando doing another video for more survivalists and finally being allowed to talk about the potential side effects of some of these vaccinations that so many people have taken this last couple of years. Used to be not that long ago that YouTube would immediately ban you for even mentioning all of this stuff. Before I go on, I'm no doctor, I'm not a medical professional. Follow the advice of your trusted physicians and people that have professional knowledge on this field. All I can do is see what's going on and some of the things that have happened to people and that are finally allowed to tell their stories. A couple of these, for example, this one from a 40-year-old man from British Columbia.
More than a year ago, a BC man became partially paralyzed following his COVID-19 vaccine. Now the 40-year-old has become one of the first people in the country to be approved for compensation, but others are still waiting.
If you're wondering about how much compensation, I looked it up because he does not say here. Top compensation for a handful of people that actually got it, it tops 280,000 Canadian dollars. That's the maximum that they're allowed to get. I don't know about you. Yeah, $200,000 is a lot of money. It's definitely not worth my life. Anyway,
Michelle Bernaro has the story.
With special braces for his legs,
I have no muscle or nerve movement or activity below my knees at this point.
Ross Whiteman is walking again, though with difficulty, and his hands, suffering nerve damage, have become stronger.
Both hands, they're, as you can see, they're curled in, and I don't have a lot of wrist strength. That makes obviously doing pretty much everything a challenge.
The former pilot and realtor developed a rare neurological disorder called Guillain-Barré syndrome after receiving the AstraZeneca vaccine in April of 2021. Recent BC CDC data indicates just 10 people in the province have ever been hospitalized with GBS after a COVID vaccine.
I had full facial paralysis. I couldn't smile. I couldn't show my...
Anyway, it goes on, and who knows how long this man is going to be living, what kind of loss of quality of life or life expectancy. We just, have no idea. But this is one of the cases, again, tops 280K compensation. I don't know about you. I would rather have my health. Now, another case. I think this was also, let's see what they say in this other case from this woman.
In our coronavirus coverage, a Utah woman and Utah senator are teaming up to get some answers. This comes after a group claims they've experienced life-altering injuries that they believe are from the vaccine. While the symptoms haven't been officially linked to the vaccine by the CDC, some are convinced that they're related. Now, I spoke with that woman to find out what she's been experiencing and why she's now asking the public for help.
There's no question that the vaccines do save lives.
Brianne Dressen is a preschool teacher in Saratoga Springs who participated in the AstraZeneca clinical trial back in November.
Okay. As she says, there's no doubt that vaccines save lives. I honestly, I don't have a doubt about that either. In general terms, medication, drugs, yeah. Now, this means that all of them are perfect and ideal and there's nothing wrong with any, no. Or that there's no potential side effects. Pretty much, as far as I know, again, I'm not a doctor, but I can read, as far as I know, every single damn medication data sheet that I've read lists a certain amount of medications. And again, to be completely honest, in the past, myself, my wife, making decisions for our kids, we read those, and based on the potential side effects, we make a call ourselves based on the advice that we get from trusted doctors, from people that are, besides being doctors, persons that we trust because they're friends or there's people that we, have an amount of trust in. And above all, it is our call based on the information that we have. Reading the data sheet, the side effects, sometimes we've made a call of, we'd rather not go with this. We'd rather go with something else, or we'd rather just, choose not to take this specific medication. In the case of this woman, she volunteered for this.
We all Springs who participated in the AstraZeneca clinical trial back.
Clinical trial. She participated in this. I don't know about you. Personally, if you participate in a clinical trial, I don't know, everyone is free to do whatever they want with. the amount of I mean, for me, it's not the same someone that volunteers for an experiment like this as someone that is suffering side effects of something that was probably misled by some of the media and their own agenda.
In November,
we all knew that some people were going to draw the short straw.
and that includes her. She got her shot on November 4th, and she says she hasn't been the same since.
Immediately within an hour, I had tingling down my arm, and by the time I got home, my vision was blurry and double.
But that wasn't all.
My sensitivity to sound and light had become so severe that I had to have earmuffs on all the time and sunglasses.
She says that's when things took a turn for the worse.
So I had this weeks-long neurological decline. Nobody knew what was going on. I called the test clinic several times. Finally, 2 days later, they had me come in and
2 days later,
neurological exam, and they said, "Oh, it looks like you have MS."
Her symptoms continued to worsen, and
you have
just
MS,
before
menstrual syndrome.
Thanksgiving, she says her legs stopped working, sending her to the ER.
Yeah, legs stop working. That is kind of a serious, at least for me it is. You probably have your own different opinions. For me, my legs not working, that's kind of a big deal. That's something I like having in my body working.
But after running several MRIs, CAT scans, and lumbar punctures, nothing.
I spent the next several months of my life trapped in my room by myself, completely alone.
Okay, this goes on, and her story, as you can imagine. Now, this woman, both were with AstraZeneca. Anyway, this woman she's offering herself for a medical trial. I'm pretty sure she signed something that was pretty brutal in terms of surrendering her rights and the possibility of her getting any kind of compensation, because you're offering yourself for a damn medical trial. You're basically offering yourself like a rab lad. So I don't know, people think before signing stuff and think before getting stuff injected in your veins, in your body. Is that too much of a stretch? Is that so insane? Doesn't that make sense? Be very careful about that. Again, kind of thing we do all the time. You read and you make your own judgment call based on the information that you have. If you're offering yourself for a medical trial, you know that there's a number of things that you could potentially end up getting exposed to. So, I think that as time goes by, we're going to be seeing more and more of these things surface, because in spite of what they say, it's no coincidence that many people that have jobs in the health public administration, they surprisingly often enough end up working for the private entities that they often benefited with their own decisions while in government function, in government jobs. So I'm just saying, connect the dots. Again, make your own decision. Trust in your physician. Hopefully you have someone you can rely on, and use that information to make your own calls about your own body and your own health. Guys, as things are evolving, you're seeing more of these things go on and on regarding a difference between people making the decisions, people that have to simply comply. Remember to get prepared. You have my books available following the links below. The Modern Survival Manual, Surviving the Economic Collapse, for the economic aspect of all of this stuff. Street Survival Skills for the practical stuff of what you end up seeing on the streets and what you're likely to end up encountering in the future as things continue to evolve. See you on the next video. Take care.